The government had aimed at eradicating measles by 2023. However, 1,300 cases of measles were reported in Nepal this year alone, raising questions on the vaccine quality and coverage and adequacy of campaigns. The outbreak has also compelled the government to push its eradication target to the year 2026. Health experts, meanwhile, have called on the public to avoid practicing self-medications and visit health centers if any doubts, as the early symptoms of measles can be quite similar to common cold. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. Parliamentary Committee hearing on proposed Chief Justice Hari Krishna Karki concludes for the day. Karki claims of having maintained professional integrity despite allegations against him. Hearing to continue tomorrow. All 7 provinces to present their budget for the next fiscal tomorrow. Koshi province to put forth budget plans through an ordinance. Bagmati province meeting called for this afternoon. At least 79 people reported dead after a fishing vessel capsized off the coast of southern Greece. The boat carrying migrants was headed to Italy from Libya. And it's Nepal against India A at the ACC Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. Nepal looking to make a comeback after losing its first match in the tournament. Chief Justice aspirant Hari Krishna Karki has said that it was not his wish to become a justice. At the parliamentary hearing held this morning for his appointment to the Chief Justice post, Karki put forth his clarifications on the complaints filed against him, his proposed appointment. Karki, who has been serving as acting Chief Justice for over 8 months now, said at the hearing that he had fully maintained professional integrity, adding that the lottery system implemented at the judiciary had reduced irregularities by 60%. He also laid out his plans once he assumes office as the head of the judiciary. Karki expressed commitment in controlling middlemen at the apex court. The hearing will now continue tomorrow, where Karki will defend himself against complaints registered at the committee. After the hearing concludes tomorrow, Karki will be appointed as the next Chief Justice if the committee endorses his appointment. However, Karki will retire based on age limit in August. All 7 provinces are to unveil their budgets in line with their programs and policies for the next fiscal year tomorrow. Bagmati province government has called for its provincial assembly meeting at 2 p.m. today, where it will present a financial monitoring report. Tomorrow, the provincial government will announce the budget for the 2080-81 fiscal year. Lumbini province government, that has aimed at generating employment for 200,000 people within 2 years, has also announced of its plans and policies. The province's government has announced of establishing a political mechanism at all 983 local levels within the province to support with its employment generation plans, along with more than 24 campaigns under education, health, agriculture and environment, among others. The province government has a 5-year periodic plan and aims to address the issue of lower income households with agriculture and industrial employment. Elsewhere, Koshi province has prioritized agriculture and plans to achieve a significant increase in employment opportunities through its budget, as Province Chief Parshuram Khapung presented the programs and policies in yesterday's session. The province also aims to improve coordination with the local levels and identified pride projects and eradicate poverty by conducting relevant studies. Madhya province government has also prioritized agriculture and employment and has also committed of enhancing the tourism sector. The budgets of Sudur Paschim, Karnali and Gandaki province, that has already been announced previously, will also announce budgets on their programs and policies tomorrow. The government has decided to appoint Secretary at the Chief Office of the Prime Minister, Vaikunta Aryal, as a Chief Secretary. The decision was taken by the Council of Ministers held earlier this morning. Incumbent Chief Secretary Shankar Bairagi, meanwhile, has been in fact appointed as the advisor to the National Security Council. Bairagi has 3 months before retirement. He took his oath of office and secrecy just a while ago. The hearing on fake Bhutanese refugee case that has been ongoing at the Kathmandu District Court for 1 week now is expected to conclude today. So far, law practitioners have presented arguments on behalf of 15 out of the 18 that are in custody. Yesterday, Judge Prem Prasad Neupane had concluded the hearing, saying that a verdict had to be announced today at all costs. Today, 16 law practitioners are to present their argument on behalf of Bhutanese refugee leader Teknath Rijal, 2 on behalf of Haribhakta Maharjan and 1 on behalf of Maharjan's wife Lakshmi. Once the arguments from the defendant's side conclude, government attorney will provide a response. Judge Nyopane will then hand a verdict which is expected to be announced by tomorrow. Several legal practitioners have been presenting their arguments at the Kathmandu District Court in the case of the fake Bhutanese refugee. For the past 10 days, in fact, the court proceedings have extended as a single defendant is being represented by several lawyers. From former attorney generals, senior advocates to lawyers that are relatives who charge up to hundreds of thousands of rupees for a single court appearance have been extending the court proceedings. Some corners have begun suspecting attempts to influence the judges by extending the court proceedings with several recognized lawyers. In the 3 days of presenting their arguments at the bench number 10 of Kathmandu District Court, government attorneys demanded jail terms for 18 individuals alleged of involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. Since then, senior advocates, former attorney generals and other lawyers have come forward to present their arguments in favor of the defendants who have been alleged of crime against the nation. It is the right of the defendant to have the legal representatives. However, questions have been raised as former attorney generals themselves are presenting arguments in support of individuals alleged of crimes of grievous magnitude. Advocates usually charge somewhere between 20,000 to 50,000 rupees per court session for such cases. Senior advocates receive between 50,000 to 200,000 rupees per court session. Lawyers themselves accept that the per-session fee is even higher in complicated cases of high-ranking officials. No lawyer has made public the fee being charged in the ongoing case of the Bhutanese refugee scam. Some lawyers have said that they are representing their client for free. Whatever the fee, several legal representatives are for a single defendant has raised further red flags. More than 100 lawyers have presented their arguments in the case so far. More than a month and a half have passed since the formation of the thematic committees at the House of Representatives. However, process for appointment of leadership at the committees formed on the 28th of April has yet to begin. Joint Parliamentary Hearing Committee is also operating on the leadership of the senior-most member. House Speaker has made several queries regarding the leadership, but the parties have remained indifferent. Engagement in political power share has delayed selection of leadership, which has affected the efficiency of the parliament itself. Political parties had reached a consensus on the share of leadership of the thematic committees. Based on the agreement of the 10 committees, CPN-UML was to lead 2, while the ruling coalition was to chair the remaining 8 entities. However, concrete steps remain to be taken for selection of leadership even after the formation of the committees. Main opposition UML has alleged the lack of understanding in the ruling coalition for the delay and has asked for taking the procedure forward through the Speaker. All committees under the House of Representatives are currently chaired by the senior-most members. This has created complications in decision-making procedure and regular operation of the committees. Parliamentary committees can investigate the government works and also issue directives. In the absence of leadership, these committees have not even been able to hold discussions on concrete agenda. Questions were raised regarding the efficiency of the thematic committees during the previous term of the Parliament as well. In a situation where the Parliament is being obstructed for basic issues, the indifference of parties in selecting leadership and the thematic committees is likely to have a negative impact on the overall performance of the House of Representatives. The National Assembly meeting that had been stalled since 9th of June has been called for the 25th. After the Upper House approved the budget proposed by the government for the next fiscal year, Chairperson Ganesh Timal Sinha had closed the session for 16 days and left for China, citing lack of business. The state's constitution has given equal priority to House of Representatives and the National Assembly. All bills and proposals except those concerning state's finances are registered for deliberations at both the houses. However, government and political parties seem to have given less priority to the National Assembly, which is often referred to as the permanent house. This had led to lack of business at the National Assembly. The next session of the Upper House has been called for the 25th of June. However, the meeting's agendas have yet to be determined. On top of the government's inability to provide business, the National Assembly has yet to use its own rights of deciding its business. Each member of the upper house also has the right to register non-governmental bills. However, none of the members have used their rights in recent time. So far, in its journey till the 14th session, the National Assembly has endorsed 53 bills. However, the government has yet to register a single bill in the ongoing session. The government has also ignored the National Assembly's ruling demanding justification on 5 issues, including the decision to impose value-added tax on vegetables, among others. Likewise, the immigration bill that was registered some 4 years ago has yet to be discussed at the upper house in the absence of a Home Minister to clarify on the bill. The National Assembly is considered the part of Parliament that has experts and eminent persons. However, the House has failed to play an effective role due to indifference on part of the government and the National Assembly members themselves. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what should be done to eradicate measles? Your options are A. Active role from the government, B. Increase awareness, and C. Preventive measures. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces regarding their take on issues that should be prioritized in the budget that is to be introduced by the provincial governments. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
समावेशी बजेटहरुलाई चाहिँ बढी प्राथमिकता दिनुपर्छ।
व्यापार व्यवसाय र आम जनतालाई चाहिँ यो मन्दीबाट आर्थिक यो चाहिँ असहजताबाट निकाल्नका लागि एउटा तपाई विशेष प्याकेजका सहित तपाईको चाहिँ यो प्रदेशले यो बजेटमा चाहिँ यसको एड्रेस गरोस्।
उत्पादक चाहिँ सम्म पुग्ने गरेर त्यो किसिमको बजेट लिएर आउनु पर्छ।
शिक्षा र स्वास्थ्य र रोजगारीको निमित्त चाहिँ बजेटमा चाहिँ विशेष ध्यान दिन जरुरी छ।
आफ्नै देशमा कलकारखाना भयो भने विदेश जानबाट वञ्चित हुन्छ नि, मान्छे विदेश जाँदै जाँदैन।
कृषिलाई प्राथमिकता राख्नु पर्यो।
सर्वप्रथम प्राथमिकता दिनु भनेको महिला जनचेतनामा हुनुपर्छ।
जनता भएको ठाउँमा चाहिँ विकास आउने गरी चाहिँ प्रदेशका कार्यक्रमहरू आउनु।
Nepal is to play against India at the ACC Emerging Teams Cup as it looks to progress to the next round. The match had been scheduled for an 11:15 a.m. kickoff Nepal time and is to be played at the Hong Kong Mission Road ground. Nepal had been defeated by Pakistan A in its first match. Nepal's impressive bowling had limited Pakistan to 87 runs. However, weak batting display left Nepal with a 9-run defeat. Team Nepal had lacked preparations ahead of the tournament and had reached for the tournament following a 5-match series in Malaysia last week. Although India is a tough opponent, winning its first match against the hosts, a win today is a must for Nepal. Team India is led by 19-year-old Shweta Sehrawat. Nepal is in the group alongside Pakistan, India A and Hong Kong. India and Pakistan have 2 points each so far. Elsewhere, Nepal is playing against Oman today as its final warm-up match ahead of the ICC World Cup Global Qualifiers. The match in Zimbabwe's Herrera Sports Club ground will begin after 1 p.m. Today's match is taken as a good opportunity for Nepal to improve on its falls ahead of the global qualifiers. Among the 10 teams participating at the qualifiers, Nepal is the only team that was unable to play a warm-up match with Test Nation. In its first warm-up match, Nepal had faced a 3-wicket defeat at the hands of UAE. Nepal had also lost both its warm-up match against the Netherlands and Scotland, played in South Africa. Nepal's last victory was against Oman at the ACC Premier Cup in April. Nepal is scheduled to play its first match of the qualifiers on 18th of June against host Zimbabwe. Nepal is in Group A with Zimbabwe, heavyweights West Indies, USA and the Netherlands. Group B has Sri Lanka, Ireland, Scotland, Oman and UAE. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.